One of the reasons why, and one of the key reasons for their win against us as well in the semifinals. But she is headed to play next year at Central Michigan University.
And you mentioned, Palos Verdes is not unaccustomed to being behind and rallying for a win, as was evidenced in your game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We were able, the first time we played them, it was pretty crazy. We went up, it was scores 12-5 at halftime, and they ended up getting 4 yellow cards in the game, which forced them to play man down for the remaining second half, and they struck a huge comeback. Frustratingly for me that we were man up, but they came back pulled within 3 goals, and then we were able to pull out the win. But I think that says a lot about their team and their ability to push through no matter what's going on in the game and how down they might be.
A patient possession here, although again still looking for that first good look, and there it is.
And that was an unfortunate miss there, but that was a great first take and a great save from goalie Olivia Young from St. Margaret's, and they'll bring it up. Oh, loose ball, and Palos Verdes recovers it.
So it's been a good sequence for PV. They got their first good shot, had a rebound look that looked like it went wide. Otherwise, they could have netted their first goal.
Yep, and that's exactly what PV needed. I think they take their time with their possession here, see what they can do, and hopefully get another good look to cage.
Couple of steals by Nikki Miles, who was described by the St. Margaret faithful as being a beast, a beautiful beast, but she has been all over the ground balls and the takeaways.
Yep, so you'll see there's that backer. Oh, and a great check there.
Just in time, too. She had it. The arrow was in the bow, cocked and ready to fire. Knocked it loose.
Yep, another great shot there. Looked like that one hit the pipe. So this is another problem with the zone. I think she got 3-second call. If you're in the 8-meter and you're not within a 6 length with someone, you'll be called for 3 seconds.
And so the violation caused you to be pulled out of that defensive area?
Yes, exactly. Then you go behind 4 meters of the other player.
You know, PV's finding the cutters, but it seems like they're drawing a double slide each time. A shot and a goal, right on schedule. That was
21, Brooke Merchant to number 2, Kelly Hoyt. And that's exactly what you want to see when St. Margaret's is playing that zone. You move the ball, look for the open cutters, and get a quick shot off, just like they did right there. That was a great opportunity, great look.
We've got 13 minutes, 39 seconds to go here in the first half. Palos Verdes has scored to cut the lead to 2-1. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. They're the ones that help make this stream possible. LA Lacrosse Foundation, CalPro Sports, Maverick, STX, Epic Lacrosse, LaxRatz, Todd Freshman Photography, and a special shout out to 360flamingo.com. Every week the LaxRatz team picks a play of the week, and 360flamingo.com provides 2 nights accommodations for the parent or guardian of the player that accomplishes that top play. 360flamingo.com in Costa Rica. So keep your eyes on the top plays and know that the winners qualify for that trip. Meanwhile, another draw won by St. Margaret's.
Yep, that was a great draw and looking to push here.
Oh my goodness, a shot from way out and a goal. That was Miles.
Yep, that was a great split dodge there. Drive again, pulling the goalie to one side and then shooting to the opposite. It was a great take and shot by number 4, Nikki Miles, headed to Penn.
Yeah, so Nikki is playing her last Southern California high school game. She'll be plying her trade with the Penn Quakers next year, and maybe we'll be able to see her on TV when they're playing next year. So, St. Margaret. 13 minutes and change to go here first half. St. Margaret's has extended its lead to 3-1.
Yep. Also with your shout outs, I wanted to give a shout out to all the moms here and all the moms watching at home, especially my mom all the way in Maryland, had to do it. Also shout out to my Westlake moms that I know are watching right now. You guys are the best.
Oh, and meanwhile a shot and a goal. That is
12, Jordan Miles, Nikki Miles' sister right there with the feed from Maddie Barkay. That was a great look there, great take.
They took that win right off the draw, ran it down, and rather than settle into a 7-on-7, they went right to the cage. And that, as you mentioned, Jordan Miles with the score.
All right, so PV's changed it up. They have freshman Harper Ski on the draw, and Maddie Barkay will come up with it. Feed inside. What a feed in. That's a nice Twizzler shot there from Maddie Barkay.
That was the low to low. That was a rocket.
Another feed inside to Maddie Barkay, and that's a goal.
Got him a goal.
That was a great feed from number 7, freshman Grace Carstetter to Maddie Barkay. Really threaded the needle on that one. And that's the quick ball movement that I saw the first time that we played against them, and their ability to really thread that and feed tight spaces is really excellent. That's another draw control for St. Margaret's. Maddie Barkay comes up with it. Another quick feed inside, and that's a shot and a goal by number 24, Campbell Case. And St. Margaret's goes up 6-1. Looks like we're gonna have a timeout here from PV.
So as we get back into action here, Palos Verdes did a great job of keeping this thing close. Lindsay, they scored a goal. They cut it to 2-1. And then in the period of about 3 minutes, St. Margaret's has reeled off 4 straight goals. That's that championship pedigree, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's exactly the ball movement I was expecting to see. You know, that requires immense skill to be able to, like I said earlier on that last goal, thread the needle and put the ball exactly where it needs to be in the exact right spot at the right time. And they're able to do that consecutively back to back to back, and that's why we have the score at 6-1 right now. And PV's really going to have to lock things down on the defensive end and make sure they're covering the cutters or putting pressure on the ball so they can't get those feeds off.
Well, they had a timeout to talk things over, and again, it's really a matter of just stop the bleeding right now. Try to stop the onslaught, get back into this game. Again, it is 6-1 St. Margaret's with 12 minutes, 38 seconds to go first half.
Yep, and PV tried to change it up again on the draw with Ainsley Basic taking it. She's going to go play at Emerson next year, but St. Margaret's able to come up with it again.
It was exactly what you said. Maddie Barcate not only was able to get the ball up in the air, but being taller, she was able to corral it.
Yep, and that's one of the reasons why she's going to go play at Division I at Harvard next year.
A shot and a goal.
Feed inside from Campbell Case to number 12, Jordan Miles.
Goal number 4.
I want to give a shout out to Cal Pro Sports. They've been serving Southern California for over 30 years, working with the top programs in LA and Orange County. Cal Pro is your lacrosse headquarters, featuring all the top brands. Cal Pro features Adidas, STX, Cascade, Epic, Maverick, Nike, East Coast Dyes, and Under Armour lacrosse gear, uniform, cleats, and more. Stop by the retail store in Harbor City or visit us online at calprosports.com. When the game is on the line, go with Cal Pro. Meanwhile, the game's on the line, and we're going with St. Margaret's face-off or draw after draw here.
Yeah, Maddie Barcade is really killing it on the draw right now.
And there's a shot and a goal, number 7, Grace Karstatter with her second goal of the game.
Yep, another one from the freshman here. Also want to mention before I made a mistake, it was Nikki Miles with the previous goal, not her sister Jordan, as I said previously. But yep, there's that freshman, Grace Karstatter I was talking about earlier. Great ability to use her footwork and get a step on the inside there with a shot and goal.
So, Lindsay, it has come to this. After we'll say six straight goals and 6 straight draw wins, we've got people in the crowd that are coaching the Palos Verdes draw person on how to match sticks in the air. And then maybe a little too late at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, again, like I said, I'd never count PV out and down. That was a great feed inside, but that was great defense there. And that was exactly good no call the first time around. We talked last game about how it can be really frustrating with their refs calling some things that, depending on their position, might not be the case. But that was an excellent no call, and reason why good defense should be rewarded, plays like that.
Absolutely, and that's what they close on the ball so quickly, even with the inside passing for Palos Verdes. 2 or 3 Tartans show up right, and they can't even get their arms free to shoot it.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, like you see there, sometimes at shooting space, again, this is where lacrosse can be a little bit frustrating to see. And there's a shot and a goal by number 29, Mackenzie Olson.
major goal. She basically took it from the 8-meter circle.
Yep. So that was a great outside shot on the 8-meter hash. So there are two really different methods of thinking depending on how the setup is. So right there, she had two defenders on the outside. Tough decision to really try to take that in, which some attackers will do. When you got two people on you, great decision to take 1-2 steps and really rip it as hard as you can, just like she did there.
So the goal by Mackenzie Olson has cut the lead to 8-2, and my comment about too little too late had to do with the draws, not the score of the game. Like you, I've seen Palos Verdes come back from major deficits, but this draw issue, it's a little bit late to change your technique or try to coach those from the stands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jump ball goes to St. Margaret.
Yep.
That is just great ball handling in transition, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's the exact stick work and ball movement that I've seen them be capable of early on. And they actually made a goalie change. Aubrey Fixon is now in goal to give St. Margaret's a new look. Aubrey's a lefty goalie, which automatically gives them something different to look at going ahead.
Well, this tandem of goalies has not only been very effective, but they go way back together, don't they?
Yep, so they actually met, their brothers played football together, and they went to the same daycare, and then went to different schools, ended up both playing goalie, and went to go to PV, and they've been splitting time ever since.
Nice step through, shot, and a goal. That is Nikki Miles.
Yep, Nikki Miles with another one there. Her ability to control her stick under pressure and move her feet very quickly to avoid those sticks, top notch there.
I'd like to shout out to another one of our sponsors. Please support the LA Lacrosse Foundation. You can visit them at www.lalax.org for more info on how the foundation works to further the growth of the game by assisting programs in need, developing officials and coaches, and being the lightning rod of lacrosse for the LA area. LA Lacrosse Foundation, for the love of the game. And, you know, talk about developing officials. One of the things you mentioned before the game was that sometimes you can't actually hear the officials on what the call is and when you're coaching out there. So maybe we can chip in and get them headsets or something next year where everybody can understand the call.
Yeah, that would definitely be helpful just to know what the calls are. But I mean, I understand there's only two people out there. Sometimes it's tough to see what's going on. And you know, I'll be the first to admit sometimes coaches are wrong, frankly. You know.
No way.
Yeah, I will be the first one to admit sometimes we're on the sidelines and we're the ones that have a bad angle to see, and they have a better angle. So I mean, it's not always that refs are in the wrong, and you know, we wouldn't be able to play this game without them. So as you know, we can talk about the calls here and there. You know, we wouldn't be able to do it without them. So absolutely thanks to all the refs out there.
In fact, I think the quality of officiating has evolved along with the quality of the play in Southern California lacrosse. I can remember 15, 18 years ago when the sport was new here. There weren't a lot of experienced coaches, and there weren't a lot of experienced referees. And you could have coaches and referees actually conferring on what's the right call or the right situation. Today, you get top-notch experienced officials out there, and, you know, we kid around with the coaches, but they really do respect the job that these referees do.
Yeah, absolutely, because like I said, at the end of the day, we can't do what we do. The kids can't play the game without them. So I have much respect for the officials, and you know, as you hear, they get a lot of flack. So you gotta give them some love too.
So Palos Verdes controlled that last draw. They trail 9-2 here. We are just inside of 9 minutes to go in the first half. They are in possession and looking for a goal.
Yep, so I like PV take their time with this. Oh, and that was a great...
A dodge from X and a solo goal by...
That was number 21, Brooke Merchant, with the crease roll there.
Yeah, Blue Merchant!
That is her second goal of the game, and it cuts the lead to 9-3. You know, for a spring day in Southern California, it's a bit chilly here in the shade. It's got me thinking about Costa Rica. I'm going to go to info@360flamingo.com and check out those accommodations. Maybe try to get down there for a weekend to warm up.
Yeah, that sounds pretty nice right about now, but you know, being from Maryland and experiencing that winter, you know, this is pretty nice.
Lindsay's sitting here in shorts and a t-shirt, and I'm bundled up in an overcoat.
Oh, that was a great take and save by Aubrey Fixon. You know, as a goalie, I can say it's pretty difficult to just hop into a game cold. Usually she's used to that halftime break and getting shots in between, and she was just thrown in there. But sometimes, you know, not having any shots can do just as well. You're not really thinking about anything else other than making the save, so that helps too.
Just allowing Van Cans to catch her breath a little bit, get Fixon in there. She also is headed to play college lacrosse. She will be going to Embry-Riddle, which is also a great engineering school, so she's going to be hitting the books and the lacrosse cage.
Yep, absolutely. Gotta love that. And all these scholar athletes that are out here. I mean, talk about going to the Ivy Leagues out here. And, you know, maybe not quite as high as Stanford, you know, but no, I'm just kidding.
And Palos Verdes has numbers right here.
Yep, this could be a great fast break opportunity coming down here. Freshman Harper Ski with the ball. Looks like she's going to look to feed inside. That was a great feed. Oh, great recovery. So you can see PV has the capability to move the ball really quickly. I think if they keep that up, they're going to be able to beat this zone and get some more good shots off. They move it down low now. Looks like they're going to try that crease roll opportunity again. And I believe that's a crease roll violation on the backside of the zone there. So as I was talking about, St. Margaret's playing that backer. Sometimes you're going back and forth over the crease. You can get caught tiptoeing the line there, which she did.
Inside duck, and that ball's knocked loose.
Yep, that was a great check. You really got to be careful when you're dodging on the inside not to hang that stick, because there are going to be sticks coming for you.
And another takeaway.
That was a great defensive set, and that's exactly why you play the backer. You get one dodge, and then you immediately have the double team there to stop it and hopefully play good defense like they did there, cause a turnover.
Jordan Miles caused a turnover. The stick now is Campbell Case with the ball.
Looks like St. Margaret's is working it again. Gonna look to attack from behind potentially. So St. Margaret's is holding two cutters in the middle. Again, like I was saying, when you're in a zone, you want to keep the defenders occupied. And right now they're doing a good job here to try to find the backside.
Would you be tempted to sit back and allow those cutters to gather out there and just wait for them to cut?
Yeah, so there's two ways of playing. If they're in a stack like this, you can kind of create a wall on defense and talk about who's going to cover who. Because if you're not, sometimes how they're spread out here, they can create picks and you can get lost on defense. And that's how the open cutters get open.
Oh, back over the shoulder. Great shot and great save by Aubrey Fixon.
Yep, that was a tough look there. But I've seen Campbell Case play time and time again. She's not afraid of those trick shots, so expect to see more of those throughout the game.
Ticking down toward 5 minutes to go here in the first half. The dark-clad St. Margaret's Tartans leading Palos Verdes by a score of 9-3.
again, you know, I would never count PV out here. Six goals is not that much in a game of lacrosse. I've been in part of games throughout my 4 years of college. We've come back from 6-7 goal deficits handily. So it's never over till it's over.
I think PV has played them pretty even, but for that 3 or 4 minute period about midway through the half when St. Margaret's railed off 4 or 5 straight goals. Other than that, game's been pretty even.
Yeah, I definitely would say so. When PV takes their time with their possessions, and with the exception of that fast crease roll opportunity, they're really able to take advantage.
Well, there's a quick double pass, and they break out.
It looks like we might get that crease roll. Oh no, she's gonna kick it up top. Yep, that's that ball movement you need to see. Make the defenders work in the middle.
Why is she on the ground?
Oh, that was feet inside.
You know, it was a great look, but that pass was contested.
Yep, exactly. And as a defender, that's what you want to do, is try to get a stick in the middle of the way, so that you can try to get an opportunity to get a knockdown on the pass. So you can see there's an opening there. Yep, and she takes advantage.
A shot in the goal. That is number 2, Kelly Hoyt.
Yep, that was Kelly Hoyt. And like I said, a lot of times you just got to get the ball moving and make the defenders move and adjust their angles. And a lot of times they get a lot of too focused on the ball. You see the backside openings there. Kelly Hoyt was wide open in the middle.
Well, Lindsay, it's just what you were talking about. I mean, Palos Verdes, they changed goalies. They called a timeout, caught their breath. They've scored 2 straight goals now to cut into this lead a little bit. It's 9-4 with 3 minutes, 32 seconds to go in the half.
Yep, and you know, like I said before, you take care of the possessions when you have them and take advantage, and that's what you need to happen in this game. You know, you saw St. Margaret take a low angle shot, and they're able to come up with it, cause turnovers, and PV converted. We have Maddie Barcate with the draw coming up, though. St. Margaret's will look to change the momentum in their end here. That was a great cut in the middle there.
Oh, great effort there to save it, but not successful. Ball will go back over to Palos Verdes.
Yep, and another unforced error there by St. Margaret's, so PV will look to convert.
You know, you and I have talked about this on the air before, but it never ceases to amaze me the improvement and the growth in the girls' game, both in terms of the stick skills and the athleticism. You see these end-to-end rushes. You see shooters on their back with no calls. Not that type of physicality is, you know, the only thing, but they definitely have advanced this where you're getting some great athletes out there and just some great performances.
Absolutely, and it's great to see with younger players starting to play earlier and putting more time into it. And I think with the sport growing more in Southern California, you see these girls see other girls be able to play the sport at the next level, and that pushes them to want to play more and be better. And we have a fast break, maybe opportunity here. Knocked out, oh, and that's a goal.
That was a great ground ball pickup by number 12, and Abby Merchant, and then who got the goal?
It was tough to see there, but I think it was number 29, Mackenzie Olsen maybe, but I might have seen that wrong. So in talking about the growth of the game, I think something that's really exciting right now is just the fact that...
How about a PV win on the draw? That's exciting.
Yes, absolutely, and they'll keep possession here and look to push it. But as I was saying, and yeah, that'll be a check to the sphere. So you can't come within 7 inches of an opponent's head when you're trying to check for possession, and that's to keep the game safe. There's been a recent movement to try to get helmets in the girls' game, and penalties like that keep that from needing to happen. But as I was saying, the growth of the girls' game, you know, it's really exciting to see for younger players and players all over California. Oh, and PV might have a fast break here. And
huge save
by sophomore Olivia Young for St. Margaret's.
She came up huge on that one.
Absolutely. But as I was saying, you know, when I was in college early on, it was tough to even get some of my games live streamed. So to be able to have the opportunity to get these games live streamed by LaxRatz is really phenomenal. And if you want to see more of the games and content that LaxRatz has, please make sure to subscribe and like this video so we can continue to do that and push the game and progress of the sport. And that was
a shot and a goal, and that is number
2, Kelly Hoyt. That's our third of the game, hat trick for Kelly Hoyt. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. PV is never down and out in any game. They will keep fighting tooth and nail the entire time. So even what you think this game is over, it is not by far.
All right, Lindsay, St. Margaret's went on a 6-goal run to extend its lead to 8-1. Since then, Palos Verdes has outscored them 5-2 to get back into this game. It's 9-6 with 1:42 to go, and we got ourselves a ball game.
Yep, absolutely. And the key difference is just honestly making the most of the possessions. Like I was talking about earlier, every time PV has the ball is going in the back of the net, and St. Margaret's has continued to turn it over the past couple of possessions they've had it. And this possession, they really need to make sure they're doing a good job of taking care of the ball and making this PV defense work.
St. Margaret's back on attack here, looking to stop its bleeding. Oh, inside look, huge save by Fixit.
Absolutely, and that's exactly the kind of save that you're looking for when a goalie comes in, but also the great advantage of having a goalie with, honestly, just a different hand. It gives them a totally different look to shoot for, and that was an awesome save by Aubrey Fixin.
The other thing we've noticed about her, she attacks the shooter. She goes right after him, gets in their face. It helps her a lot, especially on the high balls.
Absolutely. And there's a shot by number 24, Campbell Case, to stop the bleeding here for St. Margaret's.
Second goal for Campbell Case, and that will extend St. Margaret's lead to 10-6 with just less than a minute to go. Can't say enough about the effort for both these teams. Just when you thought Palos Verdes might jump on St. Margaret scores to slow things down a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. And just to keep talking a little bit about the goalie play there, there's definitely two schools of thought coming out and cutting off the angle, which can really deny those quick shots in the middle. But if you take your time on a goalie that's coming out, you can make a move and find the openings really easy. And it looks like we have a good draw control battle here. And St. Margaret's is going to come up with it. We got less than a minute to go. Let's see if they can get another score here. It looks like they're going to try to get the ball behind here, working around. That was a great takeaway. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but that was a great turnover by PV.
That was number 10, Grace Drawer, with the takeaway.
We got 20 seconds left. Let's see if PV can get it down. Oh,
Picked off by that woman, Nikki Miles.
That might be her third or fourth cross turnover this game. That's incredible. Quick feed there, number 15.
Lindsay, that goal came with 1.2 seconds to go.
Yeah, that was phenomenal by number 15, Audrey Larson. And, you know, as much as the girls can take their time with there not being a shot clock in high school lacrosse, that's why you got to love this sport. Less than 20 seconds, you can get a goal.
And not only that, you could tell the sense of urgency on St. Margaret. To Palos Verdes was closing out on every pass, trying to prevent just that. And with 1.2 seconds to go, they notched their 11th goal to go up 11-6. All right, so Lindsay, they're not going to be able to score in 1.2 seconds, right?
Yeah, no, but this will just be one last draw to close off the half before they go in, and never hurts to get a good confidence booster going into the second half. Oh, loose ball there, and we're at halftime now with St. Margaret's leading 11-6.
All right, we're ready for second half action. Just spoke to Ainsley Basic's father at halftime. I guess she's got a uncle watching from Kent, Washington. She's got relatives in Florida watching. So, again, Lindsay, let's make sure everybody subscribes to LaxRatz on YouTube because we're starting to hit a national audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video so we can keep bringing you this great content.
Another draw won by St. Margaret's. I think early in the half will be crucial. Palos Verdes needs to keep chipping away.
Yep. And that was great ball control there and way to get that out of trouble. Great judge. Looks like feet off, and that's going to be a goal for number 24, Campbell Case.
It was a great dodge right up the middle and then passed to her right on the doorstep, and she did not miss. Lindsay, if this were hockey, the ice would be littered with hats. That's a hat trick for Campbell Case. We've got a hat trick for Nikki Miles. And on Palos Verdes' side, already a hat trick for Kelly Hoyt. So a lot of scoring going around.
Absolutely. And this is, like I said, this is exactly what you want to see. Lots of goals, quick ball movement. That was a great take and way to dish it out when she got in trouble there. And Campbell Case with another great shot there, off stick side high, quick fake, make the goalie move, and great off stick side high shot.
You know, you watch the technique of the face-off expert here for St. Margaret's, Maddie Burkett, and she's got it down. She gets the ball up in the air, and then that one-handed stretch, and she's over everybody for that.
Yep, so that's the thing when you're trying to draw to yourself, you want to try to scoop up, and actually one of the lacrosse companies just made a stick specifically for this purpose to try to scoop and push so that you can jump up and grab and make that one-handed grab like she just did right there.
And she initiated that last goal, the score by Campbell Case, and these draw wins where they're able to run out like that have made a huge difference, especially here early in the second half.
Yep, absolutely, and a lot of times when you move the ball really quick, you draw a lot of eyes and bodies with the defenders, and it creates a lot of opportunities for the low girl to be open, just like Campbell was on that last one. Quick feed inside.
Good defense there, drew two defenders.
Yep. And that's a quick feed and a shot by number 12, Jordan Miles, with her second goal of the game.
Jordan Miles.
Even though the score right now, we're at 14-6, St. Margaret's, I must say I'm really loving the lack of calls by the officials on defense and really rewarding this good defense. Even though PV had a great slide there, they didn't call that, but sometimes what happens is you get the first slide going and then what misses is the second slide, and I think we saw that's where those openings are right there. But always have to give a shout out to the defenders that are playing good defense because that hardly goes rewarded in this game.
Burkett with another draw win, and here comes St. Margaret's in transition. Yeah, you're right about the calls. We've talked about it on the boys' side, too. I really respect it when the officials recognize the magnitude of the game, the quality of the teams, and they let them play.
Absolutely, and, you know, this is a contact sport, so it's going to happen, and sometimes you got to let goals play, and that was another great off-stick side high shot there by Campbell Case. Again, little quick fake, make the goalie move, and then get the off-stick side high shot. Great take.
By the way, she went top shelf left, and that is where Grandma keeps the peanut butter. So we had a chance to pan the crowd, a tremendous crowd out here today, enjoying the sun, enjoying the lacrosse. And you know, when you look in the crowd, you're seeing parents who have been shuttling players back and forth probably since they were 4 or 5 years old. Future players as well. In fact, back in 2011, if you had panned the crowd, they would have been watching Palos Verdes boys Zach Fixon play, and somewhere running around in the stands would have been Aubrey Fixon, as about a 12-year-old girl watching her older brother play. Now she's out there in the middle of the action. And Lindsay, we are back to the draw, and PB needs to do something different.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully they can come up with this here. It looks like they do have somebody different. It looks like that could be number 29, Mackenzie Olsen. I can't see right now with the official, but it looks like they have someone new. Yep, and it was 29, Mackenzie Olsen, but St. Margaret's going to come up with this, number 12, Jordan Miles.
She gets the ground ball, and they are on the attack again.
Wow, what a great feed inside. Unfortunate mishandle there, but PB's able to capitalize and come up with it.
It's a great ride by St. Margaret's. I mean, unfortunate the violation there, but it is hard to get through. It's like a herd of buffaloes chasing you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was a combination of going for an unnecessary check across the body and then ended up tripping up with her feet. But nonetheless, Grace Carside will go behind.
We have got 22 and a half minutes to go here in the second half. St. Margaret's leads Palos Verdes 15-6.
Another cost turnover there by Nikki Miles.
Again, the fans were calling her the Beast before the game, and she has been a factor on both ends of the field.
And now we have Campbell Case coming up with it. Looks like they'll slow it down here, take time with their possession.
Take a second and talk about what was unique in the Orange County playoffs this year, boys and girls, right?
Yeah, so for both the boys and girls, the game was Foothill versus St. Margaret's, and that's pretty great for one school to have both their girls and boys programs in the final game.
I have seen both Foothill girls and boys in this game in past years, so a tremendous legacy there. And, of course, right now the championship pedigree belongs with St. Margaret's, boys and girls.
Yep, certainly with their boys program coming, we'll be playing Loyola next for the Southern Section Championship, and we'll have an 8-meter here for number 4, Nikki Miles. Oh, and she will pull it out and pass it around. Great takeaway there, number 29, Mackenzie Olsen from Palos Verdes.
A great effort. Ball back to Palos Verdes. You know, Palos Verdes had the potential to do the same thing today. Their boys seem lost in the finals for LA, or they would be playing today. It would be a matchup St. Margaret's PV on both sides. Instead, Loyola has really shown its pedigree over the last few years. They have won the championship the last 2 years on the boys' side, and they will be back at it again later on today.
Oh, number 2 is wide open right there. Oh,
Contested pass, great catch.
Yeah, that was a great try. Way to handle that. Close feet inside. Not sure what the call was on that, but we're going to have Brooke Merchant with key possession here for PV. Looks like they're really trying to take their time here with this possession, really smart, but they can't take too much time. What a save there.
It's Olivia Young, the sophomore goalie.
Yep, only a sophomore, and that was a great save.
You're right, Palos Verdes being patient, which is wise here. Try to get control of the flow of this game.
Yep, I like to see a little bit more ball movement from them. You know, again, like as we were saying, keep with St. Margaret's playing the zone. You want to get the ball moving, keep those defenders occupied. As you can see with these cutters, they're drawing a couple defenders to one girl. Oh, looks like we're going to have potentially a turnover here.
Well, goalie Ashley Young broke up that pass. Otherwise, they would have had the clean look. I think the ball went out of bounds back to PV. Look how quickly they close.
Yep, absolutely. Again, that's the beauty of a zone. You have the help right there, so you're able to draw a double team quickly. The other side of this, though, is if you're patient with the ball and can handle the pressure, you can easily find the one on the backside that's going to be open, because you're ensuring when you're doubling the ball, somebody's going to be open on that backside. And we're going to have an 8-meter here for senior Kelly Hoyt. And another great save.
Young came out of the cage to block that one.
Yep, exactly. And you know what I was talking about earlier, you play a really high arc like that, you're able to cut off the angles really well, and that's exactly what one of the benefits are from you take that outside shot, you get to it so much faster that way.
Well, in watching this, I often wonder why they don't just take the long shot rather than let the defense close. But again, Olivia Young was equal to that one.
Yeah, so a lot of times you take that outside shot and you don't throw a fake in there. It's really easy for a goalie to track all the way in, but you're able to come inside, you get closer look on cage. It makes the goalie's job a lot harder that way, but you're more increase the odds where you might face a stick on your stick and create a turnover. Dodge and shot and goal by number 4, Nikki Miles again. That's her 4th of the game.
Nikki has staked her team to a 16-6 lead with 17 minutes, 43 seconds to go. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors who help make this live stream possible. LaXRatz Foundation, CalPro Sports, Maverick, STX, Epic Lacrosse, LaxRatz, Todd Freshman Photography, and don't forget our friends at 360flamingo.com. Check them out down there in Costa Rica. You can go to info at 360flamingo.com and check out some accommodations for a wonderful trip to Costa Rica. Another draw won by St. Margaret's, and they will take their time.
Yeah, so right now, how girls lacrosse works is as soon as you get a 10-goal margin, the clock will run no matter what up until the last 2 minutes. So PV is going to want to make sure that they don't waste any time they have when they do get this ball, if they're able to come up with a save here from goalie Aubrey Fixon. And that's a goal by number 18, Maddie Barkay, senior. That is her 3rd of the game, so another hat trick in the books for St. Margaret's, and they go up 17-6.
We're going to run out of hats up here. They're all going to be out on the field. 16 minutes to go. Hey, did you know that California Pro Sports has been serving Southern California for over 30 years, working with the top programs in LA and Orange County? CalPro is your lacrosse headquarters, featuring all the top brands. CalPro features Adidas, STX, Cascade, Epic, Maverick, Nike, East Coast Dyes, and Under Armour lacrosse gear, uniforms, cleats, and more. Hey, stop by our retail store in Harbor City or visit us online at calprosports.com. When the game is on the line, go with CalPro. And the game on the line right now is Palos Verdes needs to cut this lead to single digits so they can get the clock to stop, correct?
Yep, absolutely. And here's where, you know, my personally, oh, that was a great save there.
Well, Aubrey Fixon caught the low ball, huh?
Yep. Nikki Miles tried to be tricky there with a little backhand shot, but Aubrey was able to drive that hand down and really explode to the ball and make that low save.
Look at that upfield ride. I mean, she can't find anybody to throw it to.
Nope, this is a great ride defense here.
Find green space, PV.
A lot of times throughout the midfield, you can see, yep, they use picks, and that's how they're able to get one open here. Oh, and PB's able to keep possession. Another turnover there.
And it's that girl, Nikki Miles again.
And again, defense is so important, even if you're an attacker on this ride. If you're able to put enough pressure on a team trying to bring the ball up the field, you can get another shot at a possession like St. Margaret's has right now.
So, Lindsay, I think we mentioned early in the stream, your Westlake Warriors beat St. Margaret's early in the year, and I guess if there's one lesson on how to beat them, you got to catch them early in the year, right?
For sure. But also one of the key things is that we have excellent draw takers and a draw unit. Wow, what a turnover there by Aubrey Fixin to come out. But as I was saying, our draw players and the girls on the outside are really spectacular. We had senior Claire Motes, who's going to go play at Davis, and then on the outside, junior Shelby Tilton, who's going to play at USC as a junior, and then junior Kaylee Follett, she's definitely going to be headed to a D1 school somewhere. I have no doubt about that.
A rush to the cage, a shot and a goal. No. Yeah, goal, and that looked like number 2. It's that girl Kelly Hoyt. If I'm right, that's her 4th goal of the game.
Goal as well, Abby Merchant.
All right, I'm wrong. It was
Merchant.
Abby Merchant at number 12. So if you're PV, you want to get this draw going and get another goal, cut it to single digits, stop that clock. Meanwhile, we've got 12 minutes to go here in the game. 17-7 lead for St. Margaret's.
Yeah, I would definitely love to see PV come out of that zone and go into a high-pressure defense here. You know, St. Margaret's is really able to keep possession and do what they want with the ball and move it really easily. And if they do that, they're just going to take more time off here. And when you're down 10 goals and the clock's going, you don't have time for that, and you really just got to try to get the ball back as best you can. And that's the key part here, though. If you're going to pressure out the ball, you have to cut off the adjacents, or you're just making the job easy. But you can get a great turnover if you play a good double team as well.
That is the freshman number 7, Grace Karstadter with the ground ball.
What a save there by Aubrey Fixin. That was a great drive and opportunity for Jordan Miles, but Aubrey was able to come up with that.
She is particularly good on those high shots. She can really snatch them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she has great height, something that me as a goalie being a little 5'4", I'm definitely jealous of.
Opportunity for Palos Verdes. There's a shot and a goal.
That was number 21, Brooke Merchant, with a low angle shot. And again, PV is still holding on here, and they'll stop the clock, bring it within 10 minutes, 40 seconds left.
So by cutting the lead to single digits, they have stopped the clock. We want to start the clock on subscriptions to our YouTube page because we're starting to get a bunch of hits and a bunch of interest. All we need for you guys to do is to click subscribe on the LaxRatz YouTube page, and that's going to help enable us to do more live streaming and the type of things that we do.
Yep, that was a great draw fight there by PV, and you know that's exactly why you gotta love the draw, because you get the ball out and it's really anybody's ball, and if you have the hustle and ability to work hard, and you'll definitely come up with it.
Well, you know, I've talked about comparing the draw versus just grabbing the ball out of your net and going. If you're the team coming from behind and you're scoring goals, you want the draw, because otherwise it's the opposing team that's pulling it out of their net and getting the free clear. So in this case, good for Palos Verdes, and like you said, they made the adjustment on the draw and won that one.
PV's got to be very conscious of this clock here, playing smart but playing fast, and that's exactly what you want to see. You know, that was an unlucky take. This could be a turnover here. Great save by 21, Brooke Merchant.
Oh, that was a BTB, am I right?
Yes, that was. Looks like she might have gotten a stick to the head there. Looks like it's going to be a check towards the head again in that sphere I was talking about earlier. So for those of you might not know, in the girls' game, to protect their heads and checks to the head, there's a 7-inch sphere that the girls cannot place their sticks into.
Great defense by St. Margaret's.
Yep, absolutely. And again, great no call. That could have maybe been a little bit of a push there, but oh, yep, and they're going to call that. So that's another rule with lacrosse. When you're making that contact, you can't extend out, and that's a lot of where you'll see these push calls come into play, which is why it's so important that you really make contact with your elbows bent instead of going to go extend, because that's going to be called extension every time.
Inside look.
By sophomore Olivia Young.
And Palos Verdes is pressing up on this ride right now, which does leave them a little bit open to the backside.
Yep, St. Margaret's pressing here. Oh, yeah. Yep, that was definitely that penalty right there.
You know, while they're sorting that out, so you talked about helmets a little bit earlier. Number 6, Ainsley Basic for Palos Verdes wears a helmet, and she's had a concussion in soccer and a concussion in lacrosse. So even with that 7-inch head rule, you know, you're not impervious to injury.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, I think that's all contact sports, though. You know, you assume a risk of injury, whether it's your head, legs, arms, whatever. You know, when you're playing those contact sports, it happens from time to time. And of course, you're going to get girls that are trying to do everything they can to get the ball back, so they're going to try to push the limits of that 7-inch sphere. And you know, it's not like these girls are really trying to go out there and hurt anyone physically, but they're simply just playing the game they love, playing it as hard as they possibly can, and trying to get the ball back for their team.
Possession to St. Margaret's here. We are inside of 7 minutes to go in regulation. St. Margaret's leads this one 17-8. You know, I love it. Both teams are just selling out on every ball. You wouldn't know it's a 9-goal gap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, Jordy!
That was a great feed inside. Oh, and a trip there. Looks like I think we're going to have an 8-meter shot. And again, you know, I love to see these girls playing through this physical play. And again, you know, without as much pads as boys lacrosse, I think a lot of people downplay the contact that does happen and how tough these girls are that are out here. And it's awesome to see. And that was a great take by number 7, freshman Grace Carstetter. And that's going to be her 3rd of the game.
All right, I'm out of hats. There's nothing left to throw out there. We'll be right back. So Palos Verdes will move Ainsley Basic to the face-off or the draw dot to see if she can have any more luck. By inching ahead by 10 goals again, we have a running clock, so we are ticking down towards 5 minutes to go here in regulation. Boy, she's got a great stick, doesn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. And you see that control with one hand. I mean, she's got to be working on that all the time.
I was just going to say that doesn't happen by accident. I'm sure she spent hours and hours refining that technique.
And also what I love about this, even though they are up by 10 goals, St. Margaret's is still pushing the pace, taking shots. You know, when you got this much time left, it's tough to see a team that, you know, as soon as they go up, try to pass the ball around and just play stall ball the whole time. So to see them keep playing the game the way it's supposed to be played is really exciting for me as a coach, and I think to the fans as well. Oh, and that was a great turnover there by number 6, Ainsley Basic. And way to recover that again by Ainsley Basic. She is headed to Emerson in Boston next year.
With the running clock, this game will get away from us pretty quickly, so let's just call out a couple of outstanding performances. On the Palos Verdes side, a goal for Abby Merchant and 3 goals, a hat trick for her sister Brooke Merchant, and a 3-goal effort for Kelly Hoyt as well. Excellent goalie work by both Lily Van Can and Aubrey Fixon. And really a great year for Palos Verdes. I mean, they upset, really, Westlake, upset Redondo, had a long run. There's a shot and a goal right on schedule. That is
number 17, Harper Ski. She's a freshman for Palos Verdes. So, you know, she's definitely going to be one to watch, as we talked about in the last game. And that's a little bit of the feeds in the ball movement inside that we were hoping to see early on for Palos Verdes.
That will cut the deficit to single digits, so it'll stop the clock. Quick shout out to the LA Lacrosse Foundation. Hey, please support the LA Lacrosse Foundation and visit www.lalax.org for more info on how the foundation works to further the growth of the game by assisting programs in need, developing officials and coaches, and being the lightning rod of lacrosse for the LA area. LA Lacrosse Foundation, for the love of the game.
And that's a great take there by number 18, Maddie Barkate. And that's her 4th of the game.
That will push the lead ahead to 10-goal margin, and the clock will continue to run. You know, Lindsay, it's got to be tough for a coach in this tournament to watch no matter what. I know you wish you guys were still out there, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, again, kudos to Palos Verdes and what they've done this season. But have to give a shout out to my Westlake kids. We had our banquet last night, and what they did this season, and being able to say that we beat both these teams on this field is pretty exciting, and the growth of the sport in the Westlake Village area is also excited to be a part of. So good things to come. We'll be back next year for sure.
All right, so all you Westlake players, once this game's over, turn off the computer, get out against the wall and do some wall ball, right?
Absolutely, and start running because we got a run test to prepare for.
Got to get ready for next year. Hey, let's do a quick shout out to some of the outstanding performances for St. Margaret's. Nikki Miles with 4 goals. And there's another goal by
freshman number 25, Talia Pollard, with her first goal coming into the game.
that will move the score to 20-9 in favor of St. Margaret's. Other outstanding performances, Grace Karstatter with a hat trick and an unofficially 1 assist. Jordan Miles with 2 goals. Audrey Larson with a goal. Maddie Barcate, who won numerous draws and also managed to find time to score 4 goals.
That's one of my kids. Why do all?
And Campbell Case with an assist and 5 goals. Stout work in the nets by Olivia Young. Inside of 30 seconds, Lindsay, anything else you want to mention regarding this game or girls lacrosse in general?
You know, kudos to St. Margaret's for their work this season and in this game. Definitely well deserved. As far as girls lacrosse goes in general, for you, if there's any young players watching here, I definitely suggest any chance you get to watch lacrosse to the next level. It's a great opportunity to learn by watching the game, and kudos to St. Margaret's on the win today.
All right, that is a wrap. As you can see, this game is over. St. Margaret's has cruised to a 20-9 victory over game but overmatched Palos Verdes. I want to thank our executive producer, Mark Haddad. I want to thank Lisa, and Marie, our 2 producers on site who got here early and crawled around the catacomb of Miracosa High School to find a cable connection to do this stream. I want to thank my sidekick, Lindsay Munoz, for all of her hard work. This is Chopper saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.